sailing, shamanism, and taming, which I probably would have picked the taming skill, but the community chose sailing, which is, I mean, that's so cool that the community has that ability to choose that skill. So we're halfway through 2024 and old school RuneScape is still pulling an insane amount of players. But why? Right? We have so many different MMOs with probably better combat and better graphics. So why does this 2-decade-old game that looks like it's from the 1990s and mainly revolves around just clicking things continue to thrive? Well, I'm sure you're aware, but the original game was released back in 2004, I think, and as time went on, the original raw version of RuneScape went away, which is when old school RuneScape was born back in 2013 from the 2007 version, which, believe it or not, I haven't actually played old school RuneScape. So what's the appeal? And if you're here, you've probably wondered the same thing, right? Whether you're a longtime player, someone who left and came back, or maybe you're just curious about what makes OSRS so special. Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly why old school RuneScape refuses to fade away and how this game can still scratch that gaming itch that you didn't know you had. Like I've always wanted to play this game, and I mean actually play this game for many years now, but BDO, which is my main MMO, has always consumed my time, right? The last time I played RuneScape was probably when the original version was out. So I wanted to see what was new to the game. So here we are. I'm making a video on it. Who knows? Maybe this will be the year that I will finally get into OSRS. Oh, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, I am not quitting BDO. I'm still making content for BDO, okay? But I'm an MMO guy. I like MMOs, and I like to make gaming content in general. So here we are with this video. But hey, with all of that out of the way, let's jump right on in. So let's start off with one of the biggest reasons, and that's going to be nostalgia, right? For many, old school RuneScape isn't just a game. It's kind of like a time capsule. It's that, you know, many years ago when you were a kid and you started playing RuneScape, like right after school, you'd get home and you'd finish your homework and then you go to your mom like, please, can I play RuneScape, please? And then, you know, you would play all evening and just have a blast. And then on the weekends, you know, Saturday and Sunday, late night questing with your school friends. And then that rush of adrenaline when you saw a high level person appear, you know, in the wilderness, right? This game just takes you back. But it's also not just about reliving the past either. It's about the simplicity and freedom that's missing from modern MMOs, right? Unlike the MMOs of today, old school RuneScape doesn't really try to overwhelm you with an endless list of flashy mechanics or overwhelming and predatory UI with ridiculous microtransactions, right? This game is pretty straightforward. You grind your skills, do bosses, maybe some PvP, questing, do other numerous activities in the game, and then just repeat. And you know, there's something oddly refreshing about that. It's slow, but it's rewarding, and you can choose what path you want to go down, and it's not linear, right? It's the kind of experience that's honestly becoming rare in a gaming landscape filled with games that try too hard to hold your hand, right? In this game, you actually have to use your brain and actively figure out what's going on rather than having some type of auto path simulator take you somewhere. It just feels good. Like this game, despite being very basic, is actually pretty complex and does have a lot of content with it. So old school RuneScape is one of the few games where the community truly has a voice, right? Every major update, every game changing feature goes through a player voting system, right? That the developers, Jagex, don't just drop updates and hope players like them, right? They actually ask the community, is this what you want? Right? This is a player first approach, has really kept old school RuneScape very authentic and free from the misguided decisions that often plague other games. Hey BDO, take notes. But take the recent 2024 roadmap, for instance, right? Jagex brought back iconic quests like Defender of Iraq and the other quest While Guthix Sleeps, which were originally released back in 2008, but the players wanted it back in the current old school RuneScape, and they got it, right? Also, the new sailing skill, which isn't released yet, but was picked by the community, which I'm actually really surprised because the community had 3 skills to choose from, which was sailing, shamanism, and taming, which I probably would have picked the taming skill, but the community chose sailing, which is, I mean, that's so cool that the community has that ability to choose that skill. But overall, you know, this aspect is just, it's just rare for a game, and is probably my favorite aspect of this game. 2024 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years for old school RuneScape, right? Jagex isn't just resting on the nostalgia, they're actively expanding the game with fresh content that respects the game's roots. The new area, Varlamore, isn't just another map, it's an expansion that adds, you know, new quests, unique creatures, and a deep lore that just pulls you further into the world of Gillinor, right? The Fortis Coliseum minigame set within this new area adds a fresh PvM challenge that keeps it entertaining every time you play it. And each time you run it will actually be different. So the mechanics are just ever changing, which again, just keeps it fresh. They also added, you know, new bosses, right? Whether you're taking on the Rat King or diving into the revamped Chaos Temple, right? These encounters are designed to challenge you in ways that feel both nostalgic and new, right? This isn't just about catering to veterans, right? These updates keep the game engaging for everyone, from the newbies all the way to the maxed veteran players. One thing old school RuneScape does exceptionally well is balancing its player versus player and player versus monster content, right? The PvP scene is still alive and kicking thanks to a steady stream of updates that just keeps it engaging. The return of the Chaos Temple as a PvP hotspot is a perfect example of this. For the PvM crowd, it's not just about killing bosses for loot, right? It's also about mastering mechanics and optimizing your gameplay. And you might think, well, there's really not much to master. You're just kind of clicking and doing auto attacks. But I promise you, the level of gameplay can get really elevated. Just check out some of the gameplay videos on YouTube of higher level boss encounters, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know what the best part of all of this is, though? You don't need to buy your way to success, right? Everything you earn in old school RuneScape is from your own hard work and not from opening your wallet. For the most part, there is a membership, but there's not like these pay to win transactions, right? It's a reminder of what MMOs used to be, right? Skill based, challenging, and just genuinely rewarding, and respects the amount of time you put into your character, into the skills. Like if you see a person in the world who's like a full level 99 all the way around, then you know that they put some insane amount of hours into their character. Old school RuneScape might be old, but it's not stuck in the past, right? Jagex has continually updated the game's accessibility, and at some point they are planning on releasing an HD mode with dynamic lighting and better visuals, which allows you the freedom to have a more modern looking game, especially if old school RuneScape graphics is one of the aspects that's kind of holding you back from playing, right? This means that you can still enjoy that classic RuneScape grind and vibe without feeling like you're playing something outdated. But because this isn't out just yet, I highly recommend downloading the RuneLite client, which is actually a part of the main client, but this gives you a ton of quality of life improvements and options, and gives you an HD plugin to make those graphics really, really nice. So overall, these updates show that Jagex is committed to making the game feel good to play without straying from its main roots. One of the biggest advantages old school RuneScape has in 2024 is its seamless mobile experience, right? This game isn't confined to your desktop, right? You can carry it in your pocket and play anywhere, anytime, right? And for many of us, finding time just to sit down at a computer and play a game for hours is tough, right? Trust me, I know. I already work a 50-hour week, and then on top of that, then trying to have family time with my wife and kids, and then trying to find time to hit the gym, and then trying to just play a game just an hour at night in my bed can be difficult, right? And I do YouTube content on the side as well. So having that option to log in on your phone for a few minutes at a time, or maybe even like on a lunch break, is just a nice feature to have. And because how this game is played, it works amazing on the mobile client, right? It's not like one of those trash MMOs, mobile MMOs that will like steal all your money and then also just completely play the game for you, right? The desktop and the mobile version play the same. And actually, I like the touchscreen aspect a little bit better. It feels actually really good. But yeah, you have access to the entire world with all of its quests, skilling, and PvP content right on your phone, right? Jagex has optimized the game to run smoothly on both iOS and on Android, making sure that you're not missing out on anything by playing on a smaller screen. But yeah, I mean, for a lot of gamers, especially those who are juggling jobs, school, or other responsibilities, right? This is a game changer, and I think this is another huge reason why this game is still thriving. So now looking at the social aspect and different methods of playing this game, Ironman mode is one of the most popular ways to play old school RuneScape today, and it's no surprise why, right? The challenge of playing with your friends without trading or using the Grand Exchange just creates an interesting and cooperative but an intense experience that you really can't find anywhere else, right? It's like playing a survival game with friends, except the stakes are just much higher because everything you achieve is earned the hard way. Beyond that, the seasonal events keep the community engaged and connected, whether it's a summer event, a Halloween event, a Christmas event, or all the other random events that happen throughout the year, right? These events bring players together in ways that make old school RuneScape just feel more than just like a game. Let's not forget the impact of content creators on old school RuneScape, right? From YouTube guides and Twitch streams to Twitter and Reddit discussions, right? The community driven nature of old school RuneScape content just keeps the game relevant, right? Streamers showcase everything from high risk PvP encounters to noob friendly skilling guides, right? Drawing in new players, but also keeping the veteran players entertained, right? The content isn't just for fun, right? It's a lifeline for players who might feel lost or overwhelmed by the game's depth, right? Seeing a streamer complete a boss you've been struggling with, or watching a YouTuber explain the latest update and details helps the game just kind of be more accessible and engaging, right? And in 2024, the relationship between old school RuneScape and its content creators, I feel like, seems stronger than ever. Finally here, the community of old school RuneScape genuinely seems nice and mature. Sure, there's going to be a few bad apples, but overall, from what I've seen from YouTube comments to Reddit discussions, it seems like this community just loves this game and actually enjoys helping new players get into this game. So yeah, RuneScape is more than just a game. It's a testament to what makes MMOs great, right? Player-driven content, genuine challenge, and a community that is dedicated to make the game the best that it can be. So, whether you're drawn in by nostalgia or hooked by the constant stream of updates, there's no denying that old school RuneScape still has something special that most games today are just missing. So if you ever thought about jumping back in, this might be the time, especially when they release the new sailing skill. But hey, what's your favorite aspect of old school RuneScape? Let me know down in the comments. But with that being said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Sunsets on black